Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edge and long, got a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. You cool my desire.
Looking for my phone, and it's been in my pocket all along. Okay. All right. Do I have everything? Do I have everything? Do I have everything? Do I have everything? I have almost everything. I just need 2 more minutes. What I don't need is have the audio playing from the speaker. Wow. Alrighty, it is chilly here. All right, can we get this going? And it blows up every time. Every time it blows up. Not exactly sure why it does that, but this overlay always blows up. Though it wouldn't be a stream if it didn't blow up. Okay, there we go. All right, so who do we have here? Little Bird. Hi. What's up, Little Bird? And what's up, Skits? I'm trying to follow you here. Of course, it's kind of funny how this thingy always just like this overlay always blows up. It's a meme, I guess, for the stream. I don't know. Anyway, how are you two doing? Thank you very much for being here in the pre-show. I figured I would do a baking stream, but unlike the other ones, I did it in the middle of the day. Last week, I tried to do a lemon meringue pie, but there were so many things that weren't going right that I just wasn't able to sustain a good time during the stream. But you know what? It's another day, it's another week, it's another opportunity. So anyway, I hope that both of you are doing well. Skits, hi from work. All right, so what are we doing today? If you do ! menu, you'll get a description. Wow, it's the first time I actually pointed and it's going directly to it on the stream. Today we are doing a dessert eggs Benedict. I'm good, trying to close some calls before I head home. Hope you're staying warm. I am. Actually, I just got a space heater because I have been a little chilly in my apartment, but not uncomfortable. But I just plugged in a space heater and it has an internal thermostat. And much like my food thermometer confirmed, the ambient temperature in my apartment is 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. So it has been a little bit chilly. But going back to the original convo, Tonight we're going to be doing a kind of a switcheroo. Jenny Knits here on Twitch had called these recipes that, and I figured may as well steal that, although it's not really stealing if she called it that, and I'm just continuing it. Anyway, so tonight's switcheroo is going to be an Eggs Benedict. Now, traditionally an Eggs Benedict is an English muffin with ham or Canadian bacon, either or, a poached egg, and then hollandaise sauce on top. So hollandaise sauce is an emulsion. It's a kind of sauce that's made from egg yolk and butter, lots of butter. Sometimes there is something served alongside this. Sometimes there is, what's the word I'm looking for? Language, not helping. Sometimes there's some sort of like potato or bacon. Maybe there are 2 Eggs Benedict that are served at a time, but whichever words. But for the dessert version, instead of the English muffin, we're going to be doing a short crust or shortbread called a pâte sucrée, which is a very fine, very crumbly kind of cookie, like a shortbread would be. I still don't know how I should flavor that, so I welcome all suggestions in Twitch for how I should flavor what's going on there. I get mine with steamed veggies on the side. Yes. Although I'm wondering how I can do steamed veggies, if that's possible to do. Anyway, so there's going to be the biscuit on the very bottom. It's just going to be a shortbread cookie that hopefully I get to turn out the way that I want. I'll probably have like 3 or 4 shots at it. On top of that, I'm going to show you this in a moment. There's going to be fruit leather, which is going to substitute for the ham. The egg will be there, but instead of a poached egg, I'm going to be making the Italian meringue, which is a stable at room temperature meringue. Let me just turn the audio down here. It's a stable at room temperature meringue, and then with a poached egg, when you cut it open, the yolk runs. So the yolk part of the dessert version of the egg is going to be what's called a zabaglione, which is a emulsion of sugar, liqueur, and egg yolk, so that'll still run when you cut into it. And instead of hollandaise sauce on top, I'm going to be making something called crème anglaise, which is essentially ice cream base. So that's going to be where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the crème anglaise because not only do I have to make it, but I have to get it chilled because the whole thing is going to be served cold, much like revenge. Interesting, and it sounds yummy. That's my goal. I want to make something that looks like the savory version or as close as possible, but still tastes good and cuts and works like the original one. Like when we did the taco, it had to eat like a taco. You had to pick it up and eat it like a taco to be sauced and all that. With the hamburger, you had to eat it with the bun. It had to be chewy and all that good stuff that a burger is. So today, the main goal of the Eggs Benedict is not just to make it look good, but I'm aiming to get that cut so that when I cut the egg open, the yolk runs out. So that's what I'm aiming for. So there's the goal. Now, there is one thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there are 5 components in this. There is one thing I can't do for the stream, and that was the fruit leather, which I'll show you right here. This probably just looks like I dirtied up a pan, but there's what fruit leather looks like. This was a puree of apples, lemon, cinnamon, cayenne, because anytime I cook with apples, there's going to be cayenne in it. I forewarn you. I love cayenne. I love hot and all that. But that's what fruit leather is. Made this puree about 7:30 last night. I had it in the oven for about 4 hours, and it still was... You could see where I accidentally touched it. It still was liquid. So I left it overnight with the oven off. This morning before I went to the gym, I turned it back on, and finally I have a sheet here. Okay, so to give you an idea on my silpat, and I tasted a bit here, so you can see my hand underneath it, but this is no fat, no gelatin. This is apple, sugar, pectin, all of that. And this is what I'm going to cut down hopefully, maybe, perhaps, to make it look like a thin slice of ham or bacon or something like that to go on top. So this may look more like bacon than ham, but there we go. It smells like apple pie, and it's nice and chewy too, but that's it. So this took several hours, but super simple. It just took a long time to dry. So I couldn't do that live on stream. It just would take way too much time. Anyway, yes. Although it's kind of tough. What colors can you use? What fruits can you use that would look like whatchamacallit? What fruits could you possibly use that would look like ham? And that's the closest I can come up with. All right. So, are we ready? Are we ready to get started? I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but I'm aiming that this is going to take 2.5 hours to get all the components together. It might take less, but we'll see. Let's get ready. All right, so, I had coffee, can't you tell? Our components are going to be shortbread, Italian meringue, custard or zabaglione, that's going to be when you cut it open and the yolk runs out, the hollandaise sauce, which is going to be the creme anglaise or ice cream base, which, by the way, if you try to take notes as I make it, you could freeze with the churner and you got ice cream going on there. And the ham is going to be fruit leather, but that's done. So first is going to be the custard, because that's got to be the coldest. The meringue is going to be last. Second is going to be shortbread, and then the zabaglione is going to be second to last, because that temperature doesn't matter. Let's get this started. I know, enough rambling. So, do I have enough eggs? I don't know if I have enough eggs. Is 2 dozen going to be enough? And burr. We got that. I'm going to need a double boiler to get this going. So, there we go. And by the way, just let me know if I have to adjust the camera in any way. I'm going to try my best. Snort? What are you snorting with? What are you snorting? Actually, I should not ask, what are you snorting? It's a family stream. Alright, so I'm just going to turn that on, get this going. I'm designating this as my garbage bowl. And a small bowl, which I already have. Whew. All right, so for the ice cream base, I need at least 2 yolks, 200 grams milk, 35 grams of sugar, vanilla. Oh, wait a minute, no. I don't need a double boiler for this. Eventually I will, but I don't need it for this. What I need is to simmer the milk, 200 grams of it. Now I did something weird, because I usually don't drink milk. Kind of a lactose thing. It doesn't sound pretty, trust me. So I usually keep almond milk. So just for today's recipe, I purchased regular milk, and ugh. But I do have an ace up my sleeve. Heavy cream. So for this, I'm going to add 100 grams of milk. 100 grams. Actually, let's do a bit more. $251. So doing half milk and half heavy cream to 300 grams, which together I do have wine. Okay. So that's about 300 milliliters, or about just a little over a cup. Yeah, you can probably see it in the inside counter, but it's just a little bit over a cup. I wish I could have this type of thing. I can't have sweets anymore, so watching this is the next best thing. Your comment about having enough eggs. To keep me away from sweets during this, every time there is a joke or pun, I drink water. Aw. All right. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about not having sweets or being careful about consuming such things. All right. So what I need to do is also separate my whites and my yolks. So, just to keep things safe, what I'm going to do now is crack 3 eggs. I'm going to crack them over this bowl. If I get just the yolk, good. Actually, may as well not use something orange. I'm going to keep the yolk separate, but if the white gets tainted with any yolk whatsoever, I can't use it and I have to toss it. So that is what I got going on. The yolk is going to go into the other pan here. So I'm saying this now because I'm going to mess it up. Huh. I thought we were cooking, not laundry. Womp womp. Womp womp womp. Yeah, but the issue that I have is I can't see yellow over orange, so. Okay, that's my garbage bowl. And again, what I don't want is I don't want any yolk whatsoever in my whites, if I can help it. All right. It's 1 yolk. Keep the white. Halfway there. As you can see, I'm a very hands-on with my egg separation thing. Does anybody have any favorite method for separating their whites and yolks? Okay, that's almost dangerous because I cut that open and oh, that was clean. When I just cracked open that egg, the chalaza got scraped by the shell. All right, so that's 3 egg whites reserved for later. Word to the wise, do not store your fragile stuff on the edge. The water bottle. Are you talking about this? Yeah. Yeah, well. Bad call, or should I say bad lack of call within that game. But you know what? Can't take away a bomb season. I was going to say a bomb asterisk deleted season. All right. So, by the way, hey! Question. What flavor should I make this creme anglaise? But you're not wrong. Should I make this maple flavored? Or should I make this vanilla? Maple or vanilla? Those are the choices. Maple or vanilla. All right, so I need 35 grams plus half. Half of 35, that's half of 4, it's 20 minus 2.5. It's 52, right? Hey Google, what is 35 times 1.5?
The answer is 52.5.
I was right. What about a lemon? Would go better with apple. I say maple. Maple? Let's do maple. Now, I mentioned in a prior stream that I'm very metric in the kitchen, and the reason why I go by grams and milliliters is that 50 grams of water is 50 milliliters of water and so forth. So if I just set my scale to metric, it makes it way easier to do any kind of weighing. So I don't have many measuring spoons or cups to worry about. I do, well, the thing is, I don't have lemon. I have a lemon, but the issue that I have with using it is that I need it for the whatchamacallit? I need it for the egg whites. I use lemon juice for the egg whites. The acid helps the sugar and the egg white do some sort of chemical thing. I don't know. I'm not a food scientist. But anyway. So anyway, I need 53 grams of sugar, and I'm using maple syrup, which is sugar. Going by really slowly. 7, 8, 9, 50, 51, 52, 53. Whew. I mean, technically I can make a lemon shortbread because all I'll have is the zest. I won't have any juice that I could use. All right. So I got everything I need. This is heating up. There's a bit of a skin that's forming, but that's okay. I'm going to put the custard back into the container from which it came. And now, RIP ears. Now, last week wasn't really a great stream because I made so many mistakes, but now I have all the eggs and butter that I need that I can make mistakes, and I hope that I do. So there we go. Yeah. Oh, I should mention that I'm changing the incentive. I do have the punishment where if I fill a bit meter, I'll take a spoonful of whatever it is I have in the kitchen So it'll be hot sauce or vinegar or salt or whatever it is. I'll take a spoonful of whatever the wheel comes up with. But I also found tiny conversation hearts. So I figure we fill the bit meter and I'll have to think of a joke where the punchline is whatever I pull out of this box. I figure I'll try to make life real difficult for me. Tree sugar, yeah. Tree sugar is maple syrup, alright. Best kind. If I was using white sugar at this point, it would be lightening up quite a bit. And because I use maple syrup, I'm not adding any kind of vanilla. So if anyone keeping track, 3 egg yolks, 53 grams of some sort of sugar, and 300 grams there. Ha! Skits cheered 100. You're intrigued about how I can make a joke out of it. Me too! Because quite frankly, I'm really scared. I went to IKEA a few months ago and I bought these cork trivets. Oh my goodness, are they heaven sent? Because this pan, I'm not even supporting it with my hand. It's not going anywhere. It's not sliding. I swear I should have done arms at the gym today. Because my arms are going to be really tired. Note to self, do not touch the very hot pot with your hand. That is not a good idea. Alright, so now I'm going to slowly, I know it's just bleached out, but I'm going to slowly introduce the milk into the eggs. Temper the eggs. So it just needs a little bit of coordination. The reason why I have to do this so slowly is that if I just poured the hot milk into the eggs, I'm going to get scrambled eggs. And I want my vanilla ice cream to be chunky, said no one ever. Okay, so now that it's been reasonably tempered, I'm going to bring the temperature down and introduce this back in. Now, I'm going to use the spatula to keep it going. And my goal temperature here is 170 degrees. So, cream came to a boil. Well, simmer at least. Tempered the egg yolks that have the flavoring in it. That goes back in the pot. Now I'm going to bring it up and it'll start to thicken. Do not burn yourself. Yes, burning yourself is bad. I would say that burning oneself, well, you could say I do a lot of things on this stream, but burning myself is just not my brand. Ha, 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 ha. Now, that's it. Here's a really cool tip. If you make your own ice cream base, I know the camera's not picking it up because it's rather bright here, but there's a very, very fine bit of bubbles that are going over this. A very fine, I don't even know how to call it. But when it gets closer to temperature, all those bubbles on top are going to essentially disappear. You just got to keep this moving, otherwise you're going to get egg yolk, or should I say scrambled egg again. Hope the call with Home Depot went well. Home Depot? What happened with Home Depot? Or did you say it and I missed it because I can only see this much chat? And I just realized I am missing something. Okay. I was missing, this little speck of dirt in there, the ice bath. Because after you take this out, you got to get this cold. I got an interview next Thursday. Congrats! Hopefully I get accepted. I applied for the garden department. Hey, congratulations to you. I didn't know that you were going for that. But again, I do wish you the best of luck. Trying to get it to 170 degrees. It's 144, 150, 154, 158, 161, 63, 65, 67, 68. Okay. Don't want this to boil. It was last minute because where I'm working only has me schedule 1 day a week. Eek. think this will be better if I had one fewer ice packs. Because that's not touching the water, that's not getting cool. And if it's not getting cool, it's not getting yummy. There we go. Yeah. Being skimmed on hours like that, not cool. That you're getting a opportunity to expand yourself, that part is cool. And I really do hope that the company treats you well. I don't know much about working at Home Depot to say either way. '98, '92, '96, '98, 101, 103. My goal is to get this down to 90. Got 20 degrees to go. Oh, yeah. I remember. Okay, so the first job I ever had out of university was as a teaching assistant, which basically meant, you know, you were helping out two teachers, at least in my situation, with executing lesson plans, even running tiny, tiny errands such as photocopying, getting supplies like pencils, pens, that kind of thing. Or maybe even just watching the kids while they were doing a test, helping with spelling grading, you know, that kind of silly stuff. But the salary that you make from that in no way can sustain you in an apartment or anything, along that line, and at Burger King for dinner. And I'm being reminded of it as I speak. So while I thought it was a fun job and I had a lot to learn, there was a lot of growing that had to happen. I was still living with my folks, and as something that went on a resume, that helped. My next job was working clothing retail for a particular San Francisco-based clothing company. And oh my word, that was not a great experience. It was seasonal because I thought I'd just be transitioning into a, quote, real job, end quote. Without any appreciation for the retail industry at the time. And surely enough, one thing led to another, and I quit work there come the spring and started work at the company I am currently at and have been at for 13 years. But that second company, that clothing retailer, who I'll leave nameless, did something just as shady. You know, my body is boycotting Burger King, but it's hard to live as a teacher, let alone as a TA. I hated working retail, yeah. That second job, they were kind of shisty in that second job. Again, not the company I currently work for, but the situation was that the cutoff between full-time and part-time was about 30, 32 hours. If you were scheduled 32 hours or more, or whatever it may have been at the time, for 4 consecutive weeks, even if you were a part-timer, you must receive full-time benefits. So naturally, during the holiday season, they scheduled me for 35 hours, 35 hours, 35 hours, and 8 hours on the 4th week. And you might be thinking, oh, that 8 hours was just a shift on a day. No, 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 no. And the weeks before I left that company, or I should say it was a particular store that did this, in the weeks prior to my leaving it, they wouldn't schedule me for a 1 hour shift. They would schedule me for 4 shifts of 2 hours each. Mind you, I didn't have a car at the time. So working a 2 hour shift 4 days a week meant getting on public transportation, which took over an hour to get there. It took me more time to travel to and from work than actually working there. So yeah, I left that company to one that gives benefits to part-timers. Yep, had the same did that when I was working retail. Retail is meh. But I will say, I currently work within the industry still, and in all honesty, it is all down to the company. You can work for a good company, and a good company that treats its employees well, that's all that matters. That's what I'm dealing with now, yeah. It's not cool. Especially when there's this, and again, we're not turning this into a political stream, especially when we're facing a situation now where you can't really support yourself. Again, my goal temperature here is about 90 degrees. Cooler the better, but I'm well past that. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, if I had an ice cream churner, I'd just be putting this into the churner and letting it go. Now, it's just going into the fridge. Now that is what I call eggnog. All right. Whoa. Get in there. Water is the only thing that was in here, so that's just going to go get dry. Yeah, it's bad luck, and I'm really sorry that you're going through that. But keep yourself positive. Realize that there are solutions, and it looks like that you're seeking a solution right now. So to that, I applaud. All right. Claire de Lune? Is that Claire de Lune that's playing? Yeah, I think it's Claire de Lune. But you know what, little bird? Again, good luck to you. I really hope that the interview goes by well and that you will get what you need in this world with better employment opportunities. My body is boycotting this. Oh, they're butchering it. That's butchering it. So, Clair de Lune is possibly one of my favorite pieces on a piano, and this person is completely chopping it up and taking parts out. I don't know. Okay, so the hollandaise sauce is done. It's in the fridge. Hopefully it'll set up a bit more. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. That's fine. Next will be the zabaglione, the shortbread, and the meringue. So those are three things. So the shortbread is coming up next. I need 113 grams of butter, cold, 66 grams of confectioner sugar, got that, 187 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of kablam. This is a vegan egg yolk substitute. I used this the first time I did the shortbread, and when I'm adding in a little bit of water at the time, this takes over. It does whatever it's got to do to bind with the egg yolk, so I'm using this instead of an actual egg yolk, which doesn't really matter, but there we go. So, there we go. So, follow me over to here. I'm trying to make you not see my dirty sink because nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that at all. Alrighty. Ooh, skits, what you oohing about? So, let's get this show on the road. So in this case, let's get a stick of butter. Did I use all my other butter already? I may have. Oh yeah, that's right, I did. Stop that. Get in there. Righty. What I should have done is I should have gotten this as cold as possible, but I had it on the countertop for about 45 minutes, so it has warmed up a little bit. That will affect the final product. IMHO. The less I touch it, the better. The vegan egg yolk replacer. Yes, my sister actually gave me that. She was clearing out her pantry, and I should say my sister and her husband are lacto-ovo vegetarian, leaning vegan. So they don't keep milk, egg, or dairy, anything like that in their house. So they're fans of almond milk if they use it, or soy milk. They use a vegetarian or vegan substitute for cream cheese and butters, things along that line. No gelatins, of course. But if they go out to eat and there's cheese in something or dairy of some sort, they're not going to turn it down. They just prefer not to have it. So for example, if I make them cookies, which will have butter and egg in it, they won't turn it down, but it's not something that they would make on their own. So she gave me that because she hasn't used it, and I do way more baking than she does. But I will be honest with you, I would have never heard of it if it wasn't for her. And Pro tip, everyone, if you're using a stick of butter in a recipe, keep the wrapper for while you're making the recipe, because not only can you use this to butter the dish that you're putting your product in, but you can use this as a spoon rest. So if you're in the habit of throwing this away, don't. Even in a professional kitchen, they usually keep those so that when they have to relight the pilot light on the stove, whenever it goes out, if it does, they just burn this and bring it over. So keep your butter wrappers for the duration of your recipe. Alrighty, so now 113 grams of butter is 1 stick. So now I need 66 grams of confectioner sugar, which I have right here. Kind of anxious to get rid of my confectioner sugar because I don't really use it. Really? It's 66 grams? Come on. There we go. And that's all the confectioner sugar I'm going to need. Let's move that away. Let's not cross-contaminate our eggs, shall we? Now, I need how many grams of flour? 187 grams. Almost right on target. That might be the falling measuring cup. That might be the extent of the flour that I need. Make waffles tomorrow. All right, now's my cue to run away from work. I'll see you again when I get home. Okay, Skits, safe home from work. Please be safe. And now I'm sifting the flour. That's set, and the last thing I need is 1 teaspoon of that egg substitute. The reason why I need 1 teaspoon of this is that it's 1 teaspoon with like an 1/8 of a cup of water that equals 1 yolk, but I'm going to be pouring cold water into this anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. So there's 1. Honestly, it smells like nutritional yeast, to be honest with you. It could be just that. Yeah. Fortified nutritional yeast. That's essentially what this is. right. Let's get some cold water at the ready. Technically, I can use vodka as well, but why? Oops. See you in a bit. Sorry, vent skits. Well, I'll see you in a bit too. I don't know. I'm just goofing around. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did not mean to do that. So right now I'm mixing the flour, the sugar, and the butter in there. Until it resembles fine sand. If I was doing this by hand, they would call it a frise, where when it's at this consistency of, you can still see the butter and the flour, you take some in your hand and you'd smash it against the countertop and then pile up all those smashes, and then you have your fully incorporated dough. But right now, just waiting for it to come together. I'm waiting for it to look a little bit more sandy than it is now. I can't believe I got that fruit leather done. That was something that I was fearing was going to take a very long time. All right. Hopefully it comes across, but you can see that it looks like sand in there. Sorry, I'm holding the camera by hand. My hand usually shakes. But it's beginning to look not quite like flour. It looks like cornmeal almost. So now I'm going to put it on slow. Slowly add water until it comes together. I should mention this smells so much like nutritional yeast, it's almost not appetizing, but the end result is delish. Something I could do right now. I just thought of this. Because, Little Bird and Skits in Absentia, you brought this up, and I think it's a good idea, and I'm going to give it a try. Again, I need the juice, so I couldn't put the juice into the hollandaise in quotation marks, because I do need the juice for something else, but there's no reason why I can't put that here. So I'm putting in an entire lemon's worth of zest into the shortbread because, darn it, I can. Perfect. So what I'm looking for is that when I open up the dough, it's stretching. It's probably splitting a little bit, but that's fine. So I'm considering that shortbread done. See? Shortbread can be very easy to make. You just got to keep it cool. You got to keep it cool like a 1950s dude. I don't know. I'm just messing around. Alright, so I'm just going to move this into the fridge to allow it to chill. I do not want any of that butter to melt. Speaking about lemon without the tartness, I still have a small lemon tart and an apple tart left. Last week when I did the custards, not the custards, what's the word I'm looking for? Last week when I did the lemon tart so I can practice the meringue, I had so much curd left over that I wanted to make more pies, and fortunately I also had a lot of English failing me. I also had a lot of dough left over, so I didn't have enough dough to make a second 9-inch tart, but I had enough dough to make 4 itty bitty little tartlets, and that's what I did. 2 apple, 2 lemon. If you're on my Instagram, you would have seen that. I posted some pictures there so you can see how that ended up. Yeah. Nothing was in here. It's just water. All right, a little bit more cleaning. I've relegated the dishwasher to be a drying rack. All right. So how was everybody's day? I was fortunate to have the day off, and through massive luck, have the day off tomorrow. The stream is alright. The stream was threatening to be dropping frames, but it seems to be okay here. Yep. Cool. So, it's 2 down. You know what I should do is preheat the oven. I say should, but I won't because I'm lazy. So let's get that oven preheated. Preheating oven to 350. Cool. Driving home now. Okay. Like I said before, be safe. Be safe. Okay, so now I have the meringue. Can't really do anything with that yet. There's the zabaglione, which needs egg yolks, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 2.5 tablespoons of liqueur per yolk. So, I think I did 2 yolks last time. I could do more, so I could do 3. That means I have a ton of egg whites. Let me do 2. I'm going to put all my eggs in the proverbial 1 basket. And I'm going to do just 1. Alright. Dropping frames. Yeah, I got my little stream preview, so everything looks alright. Anyway. Let's dry this off. And I need, how many sugar? All that sugar. One of those teachers that I was assisting used sugar as a soft swear word. You know you're in front of kids. You can't really say the other 4-letter S word that I won't say on the stream tonight. So now every time I hear the word sugar, my brain flips that she's doing something else. As long as it's not as bad as Jenny with the black and yellow blanket. Wait, I'm not getting the reference. I mean, I know the blanket, but four. And then a safety. Yeah, my stream is going in and out a little bit. Oh, the camera would glitch out. Yeah, actually that was the other thing too. Little Birdie may have remembered some of my earlier knitting streams and baking streams where the camera would blink. Not happened since. I got a new camera, decided to spend $20 more. And it's a better quality, doesn't stutter, nothing's wrong. Anytime she held the blanket up, it would glitch out. Wah wah. Okay. 5 tablespoons is how many ounces? Ah! That's not going to be enough. Hey Google, how many cups is 5 tablespoons?
5 U.S. tablespoons equals 0.312 U.S. cup.
That's a third of a cup. Do I have a third of a cup measure? Should. Yep, I do. So the liqueur that I'm using, so I'm making a zabaglione, which is next. So the first thing I did in today's stream was that creme anglaise, which is an ice cream base. It's a kind of custard that has the sugar, the yolk, and the milk. A zabaglione is a kind of custard usually served with fruits. That is sugar, egg yolk, and liqueur. So instead of milk or anything like that, you use some sort of liquor, and usually it's something sweet. In this case, I'm using Di Saronno, but it could be coconut rum at its most savory, anything along that line. Yeah, I know I'm dropping frames, but I can't quite see why. My bitrate's not dropping, and I can see my preview here. But anyway, I don't need that yet. What I do need is I need to crack 2 more eggs. Same rule applies. If there's any yolk in the whites, I can't keep it at all. Okay, 1 more. Yeah. Okay, this is going to be trickier. Oh. These eggs are super fresh, so the white is super thick. Okay. All right. So we're kind of in a good place right now. I don't need the really large whisk for this, but I do need to make sure you can see what's going on. All right. All right. So zabaglione, 2 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 5 tablespoons of liquor. But right now in here is just the egg yolk and the sugar, which I'm putting over a double boiler. And right now this is sort of like a lemon yellow color right now. It's going to change in color a lot. But I do want to get the yolks and whites, or sorry, the yolks and the sugar as light as possible. The heat will help to dissolve the sugar and to make the whole thing thicker. All right, so now it's turning more into like a sunshine yellow. And when this is all set, I'll just thicken it a little. Then I'm going to add in the yolk. Oh, sorry, then I'm going to add in the liquor. Okay, I'm back. My roommate just got salad stuff for me for dinner. Ooh, what kind of salad stuff? What you making? May have used too much liqueur here. But you know what? This is going to get brighter as it sets. Did I mention that this is probably not a great thing for my arms? Spinach, mushroom, corn, and chicken with a light vinaigrette. Ooh. That sounds great. Oven is up to temperature. That's great. This is thickening up too. I'm just wanting this to get very thick. Yeah, I probably added in too much liquor, but you know what? Said nobody ever. It is a workout. And you know what? It hurts my shoulder more than anything else. But spinach, mushroom, corn, chicken, light vinaigrette. What kind of vinaigrette though? Is it going to be a... Actually, I can see a raspberry vinaigrette working well with that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this like this for a little bit. Ow. And put my eggs away because I think I'm done with the eggs. Yeah, because meringue, I have the whites out already. Shortbread is set. Hollandaise, yeah, that's all set. So I don't need these eggs anymore. I don't need this. I kind of do need the scale. So let me just weigh out the sugar I'm going to need. Because for the Italian, I need 4 egg whites and 200 grams of sugar. So I'm going to need 250 grams of sugar. 250 grams of sugar, because I have 5 egg whites. You see, I leave this alone for a second, and it's already thickened up a lot. Just don't want it to curdle. Now, I'm going to need everybody's help in chat to remind me to not add the sugar to the egg whites raw. I did that last week and I made a downright fool of myself. This is actually looking more like a hollandaise than the hollandaise I done. Where did I put my, there it is. $45, $46, $47, $48, $49, $50. Come on. Keep on mixing it, keep on mixing it. I can smell the amaretto. $120, $124, $129, $133, $136, $139, $141, 3, 4. Come on. I'm aiming for, just to be transparent, I'm aiming for a temperature of about 165, because that way if there were any nasties in these eggs that would get people sick, you don't have to worry about it. And it's got the consistency of pudding, which is fine. I think that should do it. All right, off. It's really close there. Whew. Keep on swimming, keep on swimming. I should have titled this stream Whiskey Business. Seriously. So, because of the amaretto that I had used, this is looking a lot less like yolk, and it's probably a little darker, but I'm still fine with that. I'm still fine with that because what I'm about to do over it is going to look stark white. All right, so into the fridge this goes. And now, sugar waits its turn. I don't need that. I didn't need these after all. That's for piping. That could use. I didn't need this after all. I'm done with the scale. Thank you very much for your assistance. I'm over there. The lemon is going to wait its turn. Now, okay. Let us get the inductive charger out of the way. And, all right, so let's take a poll here. We got shortbread, which I'm about to bake now, meringue, which is the next thing to be made, the custard / zabaglione, which is already in the fridge now because we just finished that. The hollandaise is in the fridge now, chilling down, because I needed that to get set up fastest. Ham is already done. I just have to figure out if I want to cut them, because I have these pastry rings here. I got to figure out if I wanted to cut them or if I wanted to kind of roll it, fold it on each other, but I'll figure that out. But I need to roll out the dough for the shortbread so I can cut them to make them look like biscuits. So that's probably going to be the hardest part to get convincing. I got grains of sugar everywhere. All right. Phew. So, where should I go next? Because I need some saran wrap. On the table. Because why make a countertop dirty? Why make a countertop dirty with flour when you could just put down some plastic and then roll it up on top of that? Whoa, as I almost drop it on the floor. That would not have been smart. All right. All right, so I just need to get this in a certain thickness, but what should I do? How should I do it? Here we go. I got the answer. I have these things that look like rubber bands on steroids. So what I'm going to do is put these on the rolling pin so that way I can guarantee it to be at least a ½ inch thick. is almost touching. La-di-da-di-da. Give myself more space to roll. Oh, so how's everyone doing tonight? Got salads going on. I got shortbreads rolling. All right. Well, that's hilarious. There were some egg whites that were still on the mat. So let's get that silpat down. Hi, Skids. Welcome back. Ooh, you know what? I can look up from my favorite book in the entire world, the Flavor Bible. If you're liking to cook and you don't know what to do or anything along that line, if you're wanting to experiment, please, 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 please get your hand on this book. They're not paying me to say that in any way. This is not an advertisement stream or whatever you want to call it. But what's great is that virtually every ingredient that you can think of, they have listed here with all the flavors that might go well with them. So this does help with experimentation. So in this case, if I look up lemon, EF, lettuces in general, lemon basil, lemon balm, lemon grass, lemon thyme, lemons, Meyer, which is what I have, cream, grapefruit, honey, lemon, lime, orange, sugar, and vanilla. Those are the flavors that go very well with it. But I also have almonds, anise. I don't have any almonds. Apples, apricots, basil and lemon. Okay. Bay leaf, blackberries, blueberries, capers. I don't have capers. Caramel, cardamom, cayenne, chicken, coconut, fish, garlic, honey, Greek cuisine, lamb, mint as a garnish. Got that. Nuts, don't have. Pistachios, poppy seeds, raspberries, rosemary, sugar, thyme, vanilla, veal, violets, walnuts. So nuts and lemon go well, but there's no real spice that goes well with it. Thyme, that's an herb. There's no real spice that goes well with lemon. Cinnamon, I put cinnamon in everything. What else do we got? Cayenne, I put cayenne in everything. Ginger, but I don't have any ginger, I know that. Maple syrup, we know that. Black pepper. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Okay. That's one. Because English muffins, they got little nooks and crannies, so I figure I'd cheat it by adding some black pepper on top of it. It's not gonna insult the flavor of the lemon. But just in case, I'm gonna do one with cinnamon. Okay. It's not going to be big enough, so let's roll some more. So hopefully your drive home was safe and uneventful. Did you have dinner at work, or are you going to have dinner tonight? Skits? More. Just enough. Let me see if I can just get one more, because I have enough dough maybe to make one more of these. Very eventful, thankfully. Hearing my morosed veggies and quinoa now having. Well, you could be hearing them. I mean, there's some people that can talk to plants, so. All right. All right, so I have my control group. And right now, we'll show you what they look like before they go in. Oops. Okay. There we go. That's what we got. In fact, I got a little bit extra shortbread that I hate to see go to waste. So I'm just going to make that too. That's it. So all that shortbread made those. But of course, there are nooks and crannies inside your English muffin. So on the top of these, I'm just going to use a fork to kind of score it.
Down by the water's hills, where I once dreamed, beneath the silver moon, you'll find me. My heart a pilgrim, my mind a slave, for my eyes can't stand to see the light of day. 'Cause life is lost without love, you say.
Alright, so now just kind of stabbing these randomly. I mean, I'm not docking it per se. Well, technically this is docking, so I take that back. But I want nooks and crannies in these, so...
I wish you to follow me to my peace. Lend me your hands, I'll read from yours. My love is faithful, your love is true, and I know the silver moon will shine for you. Oh, I know the silver moon will shine for you.
And some with brown sugar, because I have no idea how these are going to turn out in terms of their appearance. So I just made a ton. pour the hollandaise over it, I don't want it to dissolve, and that happens with the other meringues. So this is probably the most nerve-wracking part because I did it wrong last time. And what I need is about 100 grams of water. All right, here we go. So what I'm keeping my eye on is to make sure that this is done almost as soon as the sugar is. Yep, this is probably the most difficult part. So I got my candy thermometer here. And I need to make sure, firstly, that there's no actual sugar on it now. So right now, I have to make sure it gets up to this softball stage, which is about 230 degrees inside there. It could be between soft and hard ball if I need to be, but that's my goal. To put things in perspective, all the way up here is where you're frying oil, but I don't deep fry. But I got to get right there. Let me just stir, make sure this is all dissolved. Just stirring the sugar and the water together until all the sugar is dissolved. I guess the worst thing that would happen is that the sugar gets grainy. But when it's all dissolved, that's when I'm going to stop stirring. Cross his fingers. So, egg whites are getting foamy. Sugar is not completely dissolved. Considering that's set. Meanwhile, I accidentally got sugar on the flat top. Not good. All right, come on, sugar, do your thing. It's racing up. Oh. $200. Remember, water boils at what? 212? So this has got to go hotter than how water boils. It's not there yet. I just added a few more minutes to the timer for the cookies. Yup, 212. It's not there yet. Okay, we're past 212. There we go. You can see the sugar starting to go. Timing it. Not a soft peak yet. Almost. Come on. Okay, the eggs are where they got to be already. About 8 degrees away. You can't really see anything, but I'm trying to make sure that everything cooks at the same time. We're almost at softball stage. It's 226. Come on. I'm not making much commentary, I know, but this is one that usually kills me every time because I do something wrong. But This makes it really hard. And now the cookies want attention now too. They're not done. Almost there. 229. Come on. Cook, 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 cook. Come on, sugar. Yes. All right, we're at 2:30. They are building Planet Fitness near the pet store. I think the universe is trying to be supportive of my diet. Hey, I mean, that's my gym where I live. Can't complain. The black card is actually worth it if you have a lot of those gyms around you. Just saying. Ain, am I doing fake savory food for dessert again? Yes. Good evening, Ain Mosnia. How you doing? I know it's loud. I'm trying. All right. By the way, what kind of pet snake do you have? Not that I have any, but I work with somebody who has a few ball pythons. So I'm very snake friendly. I'm actually really curious to see what kind of snakes you have. So, by the way. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, as the thing was getting very loud, Planet Fitness is the gym that I have around me. That's where I get my gym on. But Ain Mosnia, hello and welcome. I didn't see what time you came in, but I do see. Am I doing a fake savory food? Yes. Tonight is a sweet version of Eggs Benedict. So the cookies are in the oven right now. I have the Italian meringue, which I just done. So the Italian meringue, I had to cook the sugar to 230 degrees or so, and There we are. That's hard peak right there. So the idea was that I had to whip the egg whites alone to a like a soft peak stage. Anything more than that, and the egg whites just deflate and go bye-bye. But then I poured in the molten sugar there. So it's still very warm, but because of this, it's stable. So I can do whatever I want with it. I don't have to worry about baking it, and I don't have to worry about food safety. I don't have to worry about the sugar not being dissolved enough and breaking down. But I want to make sure it gets as fluffy as possible. And yes, I created a giant mess in my kitchen again. All right, that meringue's not going anywhere. These look all right. Okay, so these are the quote English muffins end quote, and the brown sugar didn't do anything. So I have black pepper. What was that? I have a black pepper that looks appetizing. I have the cinnamon, which didn't dissolve, and I have the brown sugar, and I just made a plain one so I can just, you know, eat. But that's what I got. Now, I'm going to see if I can do something with the sugar. To make it look all nooks and cranny-like. Gotta love a kitchen torch. Make short work of everything. There we go. Alrighty, little bird. What you oohing about? We got all our components done. 2 hours in, we got all the components done. The only thing I don't have here, so make sure we got everything set. The only thing I don't have, this is the fruit leather that took me yesterday and today to make. This is really simple. Just to recap, the fruit leather is just a puree of fruits, and then really fine in the blender. You just put it in an oven until it's completely dry. But you can see this spot right here is where I was trying to feel it to see if it was dry, and it got a little too thin. It just took a long time because I didn't get enough water out of my apples, but hey, that's it. So now I got to think about how I'm going to plate these. What am I going to do? All right. So I have one untreated, one that has caramel on it, two that have a kind of caramel on it, cinnamon, black pepper, black pepper, and then snacky poo. I'm running out of room. That's a hot surface, so I can't put this there. I'll just go with it. All right, how is everybody doing tonight? Wait, what happened? What do you mean what happened? What happened? What happened? What do you miss? What do you miss? What happened? What do you mean what happened? Nothing happened. Everything's good. We're finished with all our components, and I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it. Now, I do have a tiny kitchen. This here is pretty much the only workable space I have, and there's the place that I put the stand mixer up whenever I'm working with it. But now I got to figure out how I'm going to plate it. So, all right. First things first. All right. First things first, I have a square plate and I have it's so hot, a round plate. So I'm going to plate with one Benedict, if you will, on it. I think the square plate's going to be a better presentation, so I'll do that. So, if I take the cinnamon one and put the brown sugar over that, it does look like a shortcake. It doesn't look much like a English muffin. So how do I want to do that? Wonderful Mouse! Hi! I have the pleasure of doing a complete clean reinstall of my computer since it completely lost its mind. That's not good. Good to see the Eggs Benedict is coming along. You need a foodie table so you can use as an extra counter. A foldable table, yeah. Instead, I have my dining room table just off camera. The dining room table is where I have the fruit leather until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. My options for the fruit leather are to make discs out of them or to cut it. And I'm thinking more that I'm going to cut it and fold it. Just so it looks like more like a bacon that's put over. But a Wonderful Mouse, again, welcome. Sorry that you are having such a horrible computer experience, but you know what? Tonight is going to be a positive stream as much as I can help it, because we got the Italian meringue done. The Italian meringue is all set. That was the hardest part. That was the one I was most scared of, and I messed it up last week. But we got that done. The shortbread is fine. Just thinking about the presentation, trying not to burn myself until that thing cools down. But we have... All right, I'm just going to go over the components here. We have the zabaglione. The zabaglione is a sugar, egg yolk, and liqueur mixture. It's been set in the fridge, so actually it's not really going anywhere. You can see it kind of blobbing around there, but it's cold. The hollandaise... Okay, the hollandaise is essentially a creme anglaise, which is an ice cream base. It's been chilling. So all that's left is I have to pipe the meringue. That's all I have left. It's okay, it's been a long time since I bought the poor thing, and it needs good cleaning out. Oh yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this back into the oven, which is off, so I have the room for this. Even though there's nothing really that needs to go in. Got my piping bag. And where's my tip? And don't say with the waiter. Where's my tip? Where's my tip? Ah, there's my tip. All right. Okay, what we got here? How to save all my crochet pictures and patterns though. My poor USBs are filled to the brim. Aw, man. Not the happiest of situations, I understand. I think it's between 5 and 7 years old. Yeah. The computer I'm using to stream from is about 3 years old with one USB port. Yay! And then my main computer is about 9 years old right now. That's where I started my streaming from all that time ago. All right. You know, in the Harry Potter world, I am a Ravenclaw, which you think translates into I can do problem-solving things quite easily. Nuh-uh. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting to clean. Tastes like marshmallow. But you know, I didn't use any flavoring. All right. I just had the lemon juice in there, but you know, that's not much of a flavor. It's got me thinking about getting a desktop though, since I never take my laptop with me. It'd be nice to have a good rig that's easily fixed, that can be regularly updated. And desktops are generally, wow, wait. I had this big piece of meringue in my beard. Nobody told me. But yeah, desktops are, marshmallow. Desktops are generally less expensive than laptops. Now, just to make sure that my base doesn't go anywhere. This is so much better than, whoops, having a Ziploc bag do the same thing. Got a pipe stuff? Get a piping bag. Okay. So I don't know if I should do 2 or 1, but I'm going to put 1 down. I mean, I could technically do 3, but that's not very English muffiny. So I'll put this one on bottom. And you get some honey to put on top of that. Oops, sorry for this lamb. Piping bags. Is it because proper pastry bags have more weight? No, I think it's just the shape. When I use Ziploc bags and cut the corners, that works well. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But it's such an awkward shape to try to fill. It just gets everywhere. I just put a teaspoon of honey on that. Okay, so first things first. Get that in the freezer. I'm worried that the heat is dissolving it already, so putting it in there. Now, I have the fruit leather. In fact, why don't I just get these out of the way so that y'all can help. With the plating. I need an extra hand! Why were humans only born with 2 hands? Why couldn't we be octopi? Ooh, pie. So, I'm also hoping that what people see me doing isn't disgusting, because I'm just like taking things out of the sink and rinsing them off. But you know, I'm the only one eating this. I need a way to chop this. Yeah, that's gonna work. There we go. And there's my fruit leather. You know what? I already just messed up. Because it's supposed to be this is on top of the ham. Or the ham is going to be on top of the egg. So, let's try it again. So I had this with this. Okay, so now you can see me trying to get it together. So it's supposed to be English muffin, ham, egg, and going up from there. But what I just realized I did is that I put the, quote, egg on top of the English muffin. Still going to be delicious, don't get me wrong, but not what I wanted to do. And this is why we have backups, people. A delicious whoopsie-doopsie, indeed. All right, so I'm going to pull a page from Tabatai Cooking, and today I'm going to use Be Local Hot Honey, and I'm going to use that in between. This is made with scorpion chili, locally sourced, local to New York at least, American honey. So if anybody catches him, consider this a nod to Tab. There we go. Good teaspoon of that. And now I have the brown sugar one on top of that. Perfect. And now the ham. Okay.
Spicy.
Actually, it's not bad. It works. It's actually floral. Okay, so in the middle, it's supposed to be a poached egg. So I gotta figure out how I'm going to get that to look like it. Okay. Right now, if I can get closer, I think. But I don't want to melt the camera. Where am I going to put y'all? I know you're getting a good view of my hand right now, but I'm like, where can I put y'all so y'all can see? There you go. I apologize for the dirty sink. Normalized! Hey, what's going on? Apparently Korean folks like to put honey on spicy things because it mellows the heat, but you know what? It also tastes darn good. Normalized. So there we go. So far I have my English muffin, which I just made a shortbread. There's my ham on top of that. The white of my poached egg. I'm going to add in the yolk of my poached egg, which in this case is a zabaglione. And I wish I had a small enough spoon. So okay, gotta act fast. There we go. Now this is probably not going to look a lot like what I want it to look like. Okay, it's probably not going to look exactly like the real thing, but this is as close as I can possibly imagine. Girl! Defend, 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 defend! 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 Hello, Girl! Hello, Raiders! How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Yes, tasty. I hope it's tasty. Steampunk, hello. Wonderful Mouse, of course, you're defending. Thank you for the defend. Raid! It's more than just something that you spray at bugs. Steampunk, thank you for the follow. I'm going to wait for everything to finish. Girl, hello. I'm going to wait for the raid to finish. So, Girl, everything's fine here. What's up? What's up, guys? For anybody that's new, my name is Shmajent, aka Shmajent. I'm usually a knitting streamer here on Twitch, but every now and then I like to do a baking stream. And I think 2 or 3 streams ago, I did a hamburger made of completely dessert ingredients. Before that, or after that, I did a taco made of completely dessert ingredients. Last week, I tried doing a lemon tart. It didn't quite end up according to plan. But today, I'm trying to do an Eggs Benedict dessert style. So instead of the English muffin, I have shortbread cookies, lemon shortbread cookies. Instead of the ham, I have a fruit leather that I made. Instead of the poached egg, I have an Italian meringue with a zabaglione in the middle that's hopefully going to run. So the last thing I need to do is sauce this, and I'm trying to think of something else to put on top. I could use actual paprika. I could use cayenne. Cayenne would be completely me. I'm not going to put black pepper on that. So I got the paprika out. And I don't have chive, because why would you put chive on a dessert? But what I do have is mint. Can I get this to roll up? How do you roll mint? Can you roll mint? Does mint want to roll? I mean, technically we do a shift nod, but that's not exactly the same thing, is it? All right. So what we got here? I do have Christmas sprinkles. No, I don't. I just have the icing. You know, the plastic. What's the word I'm looking for? This stuff. This is what I have, and this is not gonna help. It's not gonna look what I want it to look like. I'm trying to make this look as close as I can to the real thing, even though it's already not looking like the real thing. There we go. That's going to be as close as I can get it. There's my cutting board. All right. Are we ready? I got to get my phone at the ready. Come on, everybody. All right. I also want to make sure that this is ready to go, because as soon as I put the sauce on it, it's not going to look as presentable. All righty. That's cool. Alright, can I make that look any way more like a poached egg and less like somebody plopped a meringue on top of this? This is probably already very fragile. Alrighty. Ready? Wish me luck. Wish me luck. All right.
If it don't work out, if it don't work out, you take the bed and I'll take the couch. If it don't work out, the fire's down.
Okay. Probably poured a little bit too much on there.
You take the ash and I'll take the pine. The fire's down. Darkness always was a friend I knew. I've been looking for a line like you.
Okay.
If you have to ask,
Oh. All right. That's it. That's it. So now let's get pictures going
broken head, you have to ask.
as best I can.
I'm a gambling man. I'm a gambling man.
Because it's not over yet, everybody.
I'm a gambling man. After all this time, it's strange to think.
All right. I know. Ready? So, like I mentioned, when I do these challenges, there are a few things that I wanted to keep in mind. One, it has to look like the thing, and it's close enough. Two, it has to function like the real thing. So I'm going to cut it right now, and I'm going to take another picture, because what I want is I want a runny yolk. So wish me luck. This is the technical part that I really, really, really want to work out. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Pass, fail. Pass, fail. I think that's a pass. I think I got a runny yolk. Is that a pass? Hopefully. Hopefully that's a pass. But let me get another angle of it. All right. But now, the most important thing. I kind of have to eat it with a steak knife. Pass. Okay. The fruit leather is not great here. All right. So there's the some of the meringue. There's the apple fruit leather. So the Zabaglione in the middle has a lot of Di Serono in it. I added close to 1/3 of a cup of liquor in that. It's really, really rich. The egg itself, it's sweet. The mint is good. I added torched brown sugar on top. I just ate 2 versions of the dog cookies I made tonight, so I say pass. And the shortbread cookie crumbles like nobody's business, so that's a pass. The only thing that's rough here is the leather. So all in all, but wait, there's more. Is it too leathery? The leather itself, yeah, it is a little too much. My main issue is that it's not easy to cut. It tastes good. It tastes exactly like the fruit leather that you would get from the store, but it doesn't really work well. So here, I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to put it on top of an apple tartlet that I made. So there's the pipe. Okay. Let's see if I can rescue that before it goes over. Okay, it is seeping out the side a little bit, but that's fine. All right. Okay. And be a little artsy with this. Nah, didn't work out as I thought. Doesn't matter. Alrighty. Okay, so that's number 2. The dirty plate. Let's see if I can bring that in. And I'm hearing myself. My fork is in there. All right, so, I should have taken a picture with the sauce. Yeah, that's a better idea. That captures it a lot easier. Cool. Now I have the big problem of having 2 desserts for dinner. Whatever shall I do? Alrighty, everyone. That was it. That was everything. Average Gamer 369, thank you so much for the follow. Let me bring everything we've done. So this is everything that we had done tonight. I know it looks half-eaten because it is. Now I'm hungry. My stomach is growling for real. I take full responsibility for that. So, all in all, was this successful? I think all right. I think it was a good first attempt. The biscuit itself, the shortbread crumbled like a dream, which is what I needed it to do. It needed to be something cut through quite easily. The egg stood up quite well, exactly as I needed it to. I have way more meringue than I need, so I'm probably just going to pipe it out and dry it in the oven for quite a bit, just to see if that'll make more cookies, even though these have no flavor in them. The fruit leather is the only variable here. It eats, well, like fruit leather. Chewy. In this case, it's spiced with cayenne. Lemon is in there too, cinnamon, but not easy to cut through. But, I don't know. It's got a nice tear too. So what is next? Well, I hope to return to my regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. So I will be knitting tomorrow night. By the way, I apologize for the signal going in and out. I will be knitting tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time, usually about 7 or 8 o'clock. That's where I'm going to try to start, like right after dinner. I don't know what the next baking challenge is going to be. I might do something where I'm just baking cookies and knitting at the same time. I don't know. But for the next challenge, I've had people do or suggest a dessert croque madame to see how well that works out. But I imagine it's going to use a lot of the same components, so we'll see. Maybe cut the leather strips next time, perhaps. It's not that I can't try again. I like the presentation of it, the way that it was, but it just cut a little bit more. But I'll certainly give that a go. I have more than enough fruit leather to last me ages. A savory version of a dessert. I feel it's easier to go that way though, because you can substitute things like meat for brown stuff, if you will. But I don't know how you can take something that's traditionally a dessert and convert it into a main meal and still have it look like a dessert. Well, I take that back. I don't know what main course exists that looks like a dessert that would be good to eat as a dessert. I'm not sure. But we'll see. But anyway, that's it. So unless anybody had any questions, anything along that line, I'm probably going to be tuning out in a little bit. I'm going to have some more of this dessert. But yeah, because I'm not going to have dinner. Actually, wait, I did have dinner. I went to that place with the burgers and the royalty, Burger King. Yeah. My body was already rebelling against that when I got home. But hey. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to enjoy this, but what is everybody else up to this evening? Have a great night. Everyone else going to have a good night? I hope everyone's going to have a good night. Well, all right. So let's see, who do we have that's on? Not everyone night skits. Let's see, who do we have that's on? How about, you know what? I know what we're going to do. One of the streamers that I like to watch for a very long time because he's very entertaining, his name is Talk Custom. He is a sewing streamer here on Twitch. And I followed him for quite some time. Had some great fun watching him in his streams. I think what we're going to do is that we're going to go over and raid him. So for anybody concerned, his demeanor? He's a very positive dude. He's very energetic. His stream is a little bit, should I say, adult-oriented. He may drop some F-bombs and so forth, whereas I try to keep it family-friendly. So if that's something that bothers you, you may not want to be part of this raid, but I'm going to go ahead and put that. Yes, talk! All right, so here's the raid call. Try to copy that. I'll give that a test. Yeah, for some reason, sometimes the spaces don't render, so I'm going to do my best to fix that. There we go. All right, so we're going to raid Talk Custom. Twitch.tv, Talk Custom. Let's see if I can get that rolling. So, I think there may be an ad, so I'm just preloading it right now. Okay. So, once again, my name is Shmajent, aka Shmajent. I'm usually a knitting streamer here on Twitch. Thank everybody so much for joining me tonight on this random baking stream, which ended up working out to make an Eggs Benedict a dessert style. Had some interesting situations with the fruit leather not quite working out like the ham that it should be. Maybe I could have just moistened it or put it in some water. But anyway, worked out okay. But yeah, do catch me next time. Let's get that raid call going. There we go. Again, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to head on over there. Bye, everyone.